most realistic steering system available on the market, look no further than Sim Steering from Leo Bodnar. Designed and hand-built at the home of British Motorsport's Silverstone circuit, it's extensively used by professional driver training centres and race teams including Formula 1 since 2010. The high precision and completely linear response coupled with high strength provides the ultimate in realistic steering force feedback. Visit simsteering.com.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Hello and welcome to ARLTV. We're coming to you today live from Sonoma Raceway. I'm Alex Simpson. I'm joined by Luke Emerton for this round 8, is it now, Luke?
Yes, I believe it's round 8, yes.
Round 8, geez, the weeks are ticking on by. Last week it was Mid-Ohio, a very short track, tight turns, undulating track surface. And this week, much of the same here in Finian. We're racing the Cup configuration. Weather looks fantastic for racing. I have to say, could be a very interesting race. Looks like the track configuration is missing a huge chunk, so God knows how the drivers are going to survive. But yeah, that's the straightaway section there, so something for the admin team to fix. One of the tracks that has not used a great deal.
Yeah, we haven't been here for a few seasons, so it's good to get the car back out. I quite enjoy this track myself. Already done a few races already this week, so the V8 seems to suit it. I know they drive the NASCAR. This is the same circuit that the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series and that run, so definitely suited to the V8s. A lot of fun through the flowing section of the back part of the track, and also the nice 90-degree turn after the first complex. And you can get the car up onto two wheels pretty much, and they give you a nice runoff. So,
well, last week Tobias took another victory, and I have to say he's looking pretty good for the championship now, as long as we have no surprises or real life gets in the way and prevents him from running. But I think it's all about that midfield battle now. Top 5 looks very, very interesting. A lot of drivers out there been really consistent the whole season. Some perhaps returning faces. It's I think it's going to hot up for the final rounds of this championship.
yeah, the championship's looking quite close, as everyone saw last week. And always the last few weeks, pretty much for the last few seasons, the mid-pack battles have been excellent, and top 5s are pretty consistent. So I know Mark Warmington there, starting in 6th tonight so far, with qualifying almost over, has been putting in some great performances, and that'll show at the end of the season once the drop rounds come in that consistency definitely pays off.
Yeah, this we've got a minute and 20 left, so I'll just wait for qualifying to finish and we'll run through the grid, keep everybody in a little bit of suspense, as we missed the opening first 10-15 minutes through a few technical glitches, so apologies for being a bit late on the air today. But let's just quickly give a shout out and thanks to all the sponsors of both ARLTV and the series as well. So first off is GT Omega Racing. If you're after a racing cockpit or perhaps a wheel stand, go check them out. Export it or pretty much everywhere around the world. So I know if you are a little bit further out, it can be a little bit expensive, but they do have distributors, so do still check them out. leobodnar.com for all your little electronic needs. Don't forget their sim steering system as well. If you want a high-end steering system used in professional simulators, please go check them out. So it's simsteering.com, that particular address. So Sim Garage as well, if you're after a button box or anything like that. Kevin Parrish and his old man put them all together, part of Apex Racing UK, so good support from those guys as well. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and at Facebook, so at Apex Racing TV for Twitter and ARLTV for Facebook. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, you already know our YouTube channel, but if it's embedded on a forum, we are at Apex Racing TV on that as well. Right, Luke, the guys are just finishing up. Do you want to take us through the grid as it stands at the moment?
Yeah, no worries. So a bit of a smaller field tonight. We got Jared Fizzle in 1 with a minute 14. I'm just going off the iRacing in-server stats here, so hopefully they're correct. Tobias Czerny in 2nd, Clayton Brooks in 3rd, Kurt Stenberg in 4th, LJ Garnett in 5th, Mark Warmington in 6th, Will Dodd in 7th, Ian McPherson in 8th, Aaron Hamilton in 9th, Jamie Peters in 10, Brenton O'Brien in 11, Shane Brook in 12th, Dean Prescott in 13th, big shout out to Dean, he's been doing some regular driving lately in the V8. 14th, Isaac Figueredo, hopefully I'm getting that right by the 3rd week now. Andre Heigenham in 15, I think he's one of the newer drivers. 16, Shane Best, 17, Nils Jordan, and rounding out the 18 drivers on the grid, Brian Monga.
Yeah, 18, a little bit smaller than we've had through some of the season. Tends to be the way, I think, something we've always noticed as the season goes on. It just gets a little bit, numbers just get a little bit lighter, so. But nonetheless, still, 18 drivers is small circuit, so it's not going to be an awful lot of room for everybody in those first few laps, so we'll keep an eye on the action, see what happens. But yeah, great qualifying from Jared there, just pipping the champion.
Yeah, it's good. He was keeping Tobias on his toes last week as well, so there's plenty of passing opportunities at this circuit, but you just got to choose the right time, because some of these corners, if you get them wrong, can cause a fair bit of havoc. And even with 18 drivers on the grid, with the speed and the shortness of the circuit, there's definitely going to be some lap traffic that we're going to have to deal with later on.
Right, sorry about that, just took the pictures away for a second, just while we make some adjustments.
Yes, I've been dropped out of the server, so I'm going to have to reconnect.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot of that going around at the moment. I think they mentioned there was going to be some maintenance done on the servers. I think a few people have been expressing some concerns, so...
Yes, I was one of those unfortunate ones last week in the official V8 series. Was running in a career best 4th in the one of the highest splits, and with about 5 laps to go, it kicked me out of the server. I was running 3rd. Sorry, I had a podium lined up, and yeah, dropped me out.
Got it. I just were waiting for you to connect. Poleman just makes his way onto the grid. Very tricky first couple of corners here, really tight. After that sweeping left-hander, we've got a really tight right-hander. Guys are building their revs here. Round 8 ARLTV V8 SuperCar Championship is green, and we have Tobias with an absolute flyer off the line. Looks like Jared got himself bogged down a little bit. Oh, accident further back, ricocheting all over the place. Not sure what that was. Brenton just looked like he drove into the wall there and got himself all turned up. You can still hear bang.
Another accident.
I was about to say banging doors all behind us.
Yeah, Shane Brook going around getting another car involved there into turn 3.
Yeah, 2 ANZ drivers, not what they wanted to let Tobias out front nice and early. Tobias, very consistent driver. We've seen it all season. Gets his nose out front, then he can usually pull away. He's just wow, what can I say? He just hits his marks every lap, and that's the issue the guys have had. He just doesn't make mistakes out there. LJ Garnett just putting a little bit of pressure.
The start is a big factor on that, and yeah, I might have to hit him up for some tips and tricks later on.
Yeah, it looks like this little gap formed where we had those 2 incidents. But yeah, LJ Garnett starting to put a little bit of pressure on Kurt out there.
Yeah, Clayton Brooks and Kurt Stenberg had some good battles the other week, and once again Kurt's up there.
Yeah, it's nice to see Clayton back in the series. Actually, I haven't seen him for a little while, so... Mark Warmington as well, just held his position at the start, so It's just what he wanted.
Yeah, a little bit of flashing going on there behind those guys. One of the Blue Flag Racing boys.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much an issue with the servers and some of the Euro guys. You do get it a little bit.
Yeah, the race that I got dropped out of, it dropped 6 drivers out, I think, and including the leader. So yeah, definitely some problems at the moment on their servers.
Yeah, great looking track actually, just up above here. Just the guys all bunch up into that hairpin. Always tempted to have a little lunge, and there was somebody having a little look in the background. I think that was Dean Prescott in the background. We just saw, just taking a little look.
Yeah, Dean's got one of the KRF boys hot on his tail. Shane Best there, I think. Yep. Oh, looks up the inside, turn 2. Coming to turn 3, you can give him the outside run. Tucks back in behind.
Yeah, one thing you gotta love about the V8 is that you can ride the curbs here. It's so high around this place as well, so you see a lot of two-wheel action today. Car doesn't mind all that much.
No, they're pretty strongly built, the old V8s. They love a bit of a two-wheel action off there.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier about Dean obviously making his return to the series, doing a little bit more running in the V8. It's been a little bit of a while. I'm sure he won't mind me saying he's a driver that seems to have struggled to find his car. He's really, you know, he just wants to find that little niche car that he really enjoys driving. He always seems to keep coming back to this V8.
Yeah, he tells us he enjoys driving it, so as you say though, he does, it does get frustrating, not just for Dean but for all of us, the V8. If you go away from it for a few weeks and drive something with a bit more downforce and then come back and try and drive this tank of a car around a technical track like this one, it does get very frustrating, and to try and get used to it again.
Yeah, so just looking at this battle still with Clayton, Kurt and LJ, it's hotting up. Mark's still managing to hold on to these guys, so
looks like Shane Brooks there just says pitting out, but I don't think he is. I remember racing with him the other night. He said something on his microphone. Every time it hears him talk, it says pitting out, and obviously he hasn't changed that yet. The boys will need a pit stop tonight. They'll probably need about another 30 odd litres of fuel, I think, to make the 48 laps, so that'll bring another perspective into the race later on. The pit exit here is very dangerous coming into turn 1, as the boys are pretty much flat out around that first corner. So
yeah, I'm just not sure what's gone on there. Just quickly looked up and noticed that LJ's down behind Mark Warmington now, so there was something off camera that we must have missed there. Jamie Peters in 10th place, coming under pressure from Dean Prescott. Dean slowly working his way up through the field.
yeah, it looks like Garnett's just had a bit of an off through the fast flowing section there, and allowed the Blue Flag Racing just to catch up to him there. Yeah, I think he got a cut track. He slowed right down at the hairpin, so that explains that one.
Sounds like LJ. I like to give him a bit of grief when I can. Yeah, Dean. Not just having a look. We were having a look back here from the back of Jamie. Doesn't look like Dean can quite get up to him, although massively through turn 1 there, so...
Yeah, that's that runoff I'm talking about there. That was you get quite close to that wall, but it allows you to carry your speed a lot more through that corner.
Yeah, it seems like all the drivers are using it as well, so... It's surprising actually how these little undulations through this back section can just affect how you get on the gas. I'm thinking of different cars as well, let alone this V8, which I know you have to be particularly careful on.
Well,
Dean up the inside. Looks like he's got the move done. Jamie Peters still trying to hold it on the inside. I think he might have done it. Giving him Dean plenty of room. Yeah, he manages to hold on.
Yeah, Jamie's done well there. He held his nerve and kept the foot into it. Oh, another look down the inside here. This is a tough one. Yeah, chooses better of it.
Oh, a little sideways from, I think that was that Shane behind him, I think it was? Looked good, that's for sure.
Yeah, that sounds like Shane. Always complaining about tyre wear for some reason, I don't know why. Always seems to be sideways a lot more than straight.
Let's just check in with this battle up the front as well. It looked like Jared had managed to sort of really close in on the back of Tobias, but I think that last lap Tobias just pulled a little bit away. Did indeed, 0.3 of a second, looking at the timing sheet. I have to say, Luke, I mean, it's fair to say, oh, now that was wide from Jared, using every last little bit of the track.
Yeah, that's one of those heart-in-mouth moments. That's definitely a bit too wide there.
These guys, week on, just seem to be able to gap the field quite early on in the race. Just amazing pace from these two.
Yeah, just their first lap traffic there, just going around, letting them through.
Yeah, you say you've done a fair few races here this week. I mean, what's the main challenge for the guys out there? I mean, are we expecting tyres to go off, or are they fairly durable, or is it just?
Yeah, the tyres seem fairly durable throughout the stint. With a full tank of fuel, you can manage about 30 odd laps. So, as I said before, they won't need too much of a splash of fuel, but depends. You might, like we all know Tobias and that are fairly good on their tyres, so you could probably get away with just a splash without tyres, or maybe even just rears. But yeah, normally the main challenge here is just trying to get a bit of clear track, especially in those first couple laps. If you can survive the first 5 or 6 laps here without any incident, then you're doing pretty well. And just mainly consistency, especially through the section here that they're going through now. If you lack a little bit of concentration there, you can really get yourself into a bit of a mess. So other than that, the track's pretty straightforward. It actually feels quite good when you can get a lap in. It flows quite well through all the corners. So
yeah, I think it's a very underrated track. A lot of people gloss over it because it's one of the older ones on this service. I think if it had some new textures, there'd be a lot more running here.
yeah, well, even the extended course is quite nice here as well, which adds in the extra midfield complex of corners, and also incorporates the end of the drag strip, which they did run in the officials when I first started this last year when I first bought the game. So maybe they can think about, as you say, bring some new textures and maybe go back to that configuration as well.
Yeah, the leader's just coming up to some more traffic now. It's bunching them back up again. So I think if we're just going to make a move, now's the time to make it. Just behind Brenton at the moment. We know Brenton had that accident at the start of the race. Gets himself out of the way nice and easy. No chance to make a move there.
No, it's allowed Jared here to close right up on Tobias, so it did slow him up a fair bit.
Has a little look. I think the marshals are going to be getting a little bit peed off. Seems to be knocking that cone into the pit lane every time by.
Yeah, those cones have been copping a bit of a beating all week so far during practice. So.
Let's just check back in with Dean. He's looking very, very close at the minute up the inside. He does. Jamie gives him plenty of room. I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold this one this time. He doesn't indeed. Straight through. Dean up to 10th position. Tell you what else, battle looks good. We've got Will Dodd just behind LJ. That's looking quite tasty.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the Leo Bodnar sponsored cars going up against the KRF stable in tonight's race, as we can see. So a few inter-team battles going on as well.
Yeah, it looks like LJ's got himself a whole host of damage on the left hand side of that Falcon, so it's going to be struggling out there a little bit, I would think.
Yeah, and Will's been doing really well lately in the series, and he's getting quicker and quicker, so we all hit him up for his setups every week in the team, and we thank him for that. So he's definitely starting to get some really good results in not just the ARL but in the official series as well.
Yeah, just looking at the lap time last time before they crossed the line, managed to catch LJ up by half a second. LJ definitely struggling out there a little bit, although picked up the pace just a little bit that time. I say a little bit, he was well, no, I'll take that back. I was about to say he was the fastest on the track, but the leaders were some 2 seconds faster. Just goes to show you the pace they have.
Minor technicality.
Yeah, all the rest of the drivers in the 117s, but yeah, those guys out front, 115, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it just shows the difference between the top drivers and the midfield on the within the game. I mean, but these top boys, they. I remember one time, I think you and Dean were talking to them about how often they practice. I think it was actually Tobias, and yeah, you know, they're on 2-3 hours a day almost trying to practice, and I find having a practice maybe the night before a race is good enough for me. So it shows you if you do have the dedication, definitely improve by a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much the same. You know, when I practice for my World Championship races, I do try and get a couple hours in a night if I can. So it definitely does help by the end of like the 2 weeks as well for myself. Definitely can tell the difference. So Aaron Hamilton getting his way up to the back of these two as well. So we're going to have a three car race here.
Yeah, Jared a little bit sideways out of that last hairpin there, so Tobias just opening up a bit.
Yeah, a driver who has found some space on the racetrack. at the moment. Kurt Stenberg, 4th place, middle of nowhere really. So just I think he's perhaps hoping for something to go on between the guys in front.
Yeah, the pit stops might close those gaps in a little bit, as they normally do. So we'll just have to see how that turns out. Normally we're talking about Mark Warmington in the middle of nowhere, so I wonder how he's going tonight. I haven't actually watched any of him tonight yet, so...
Yeah, Mark just sitting in front of LJ at the moment, so let's just bring him up. Looks like he's suffering with his connection more. I think we pointed him out earlier.
As soon as your switchy starts flashing.
But yeah, Mark, always a driver, super consistent, keeps himself out of trouble. And you know, we can see this with the championship standings as well. Yeah, that 3-car battle just behind him as well, getting ever closer. Just a second cover in all 3 of them now.
Yeah, throw a blanket over those 3. Loving the purpley pink paint job on the is that the Lenovo guys? Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron
Nice
Hamilton's
paint job,
just a nice one.
Sure, my wife would approve of that one for sure. Well, as he closes right up on wheel dot there, got a great run out of 3.
Yeah, actually looked like he got a good run there as well. Just putting Will under a little bit more pressure. Once you start seeing that 0.1 or 0.2 on the relative, it's like, oof.
Yeah, this is key. If you can get a good run out through this section here and set someone up for the hairpin. Not going to be close enough, I don't think, this time round. As the Witches Hats cop another beating. Let's watch Aaron through this section here. He seems to really close up the gap. He's a little bit quicker than Will through the first couple of corners here. Oh, he's a bit sideways there. Put a wheel on the grass, but he's gathered up pretty quickly. But he's lost a few tenths of a second there.
Yeah, all that pressure that he had on Will at the moment just dropped off a little bit. Just see he ran just a little bit wide in there as well. I had to wait very, very long to get his foot back on that gas pedal. See through this twisty section how much you really got to work the car as well.
Yeah, just on board now with Aaron here and the gyro cam, just to have a look at the undulation in the track. Oh, lap car they're getting into a lot of trouble trying to get out of the way of these boys.
Looks like the leaders are at it again, closing right back up to each other.
Yeah, close battle up front now, definitely.
Yeah, still consistently pulling away about a half a second a lap from Clayton as well. Gap's up to 11.2 seconds now. Not quite halfway through this race.
Yeah, it'll be a fairly quick race tonight, even though they're doing 40 odd laps. It's as I said before, such a short track, the time just goes past.
So if you're Jared, what are you thinking right now? You tucked up behind Tobias. He's your main rival. You out-qualified him. Can't seem to get a run on him, that's for sure. What are you thinking? How are you thinking about trying to get ahead?
Well, firstly, I'll be thinking, how the hell am I even keeping up with him? Secondly, I would say for myself, if I was behind, I would just try and keep it consistent, as we see him have a bit of a slide there. Just try and keep the pressure on Tobias. Don't do anything too silly. You both still got like a pit stop to go. So even just try and get maybe a little bit quicker of an in lap, maybe even possibly undercut him in the pit stop if you get a bit of traffic. Other than that, just sit behind him in his mirrors. He's going to be aware that I'm there, and hopefully if you can close in on him a bit, coming up to a bit more lap traffic, then might have a slight mistake. But as we all know, he's pretty consistent, so very unusual he makes a mistake, as I probably put the commentator's curse. But he's doing a good job. If you just stick with him like he is now, just keep in his mirrors, he knows you're there, and hopefully you'll catch him off guard coming through one of the sections here. This is his best bet, but run up through here, and you know, try and get it up the inside of the hairpin if you can.
I think what he needs is a back marker just around about there, just to ease Tobias up so he gets a run out down into this hairpin. He's actually got cone caught underneath his front splitter there. Is that going to affect him? There it goes. No, it's not.
No, I don't think the guys at iRacing have actually made the cones affect the any of that kind of stuff yet. They haven't gone too far into their programming, so.
I certainly do.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah, certainly. So having
I don't have any cones, you see.
yeah, that's what it is. That's just me then. Well, I know. Certainly driving the FW31, when we get them caught underneath our front wing, it's like we've got no front wing. So massive amounts of understeer that gets produced.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I've hit them before, but obviously I'm not fast enough probably to have it have any effect on my driving. But still haven't seen it pop out yet, but I'm sure we'll come in.
No, yeah,
again,
round turn one, yeah, it disappeared. So, or it come out from underneath his car. But I guess they're all back. There they are, and he smacks them again.
Tobias pits. It's like bowling pins; they just appear out of the top of the thing. Oh, and he hits the pit cone on the way in too, just for good measure. The yellow cone goes flying across and nearly takes out one of the team members.
It's interesting actually. Something that I've noticed from Tobias, he does quite often pit a little bit earlier than some of the others, and he does use that early pit stop rather well. Gets himself some clean air and you know, lack of pressure, and just seems to nail it. LJ Garnett coming in as well. Oh, just a little bit under the halfway mark. So
yeah, we'll see now. You put a bit of doubt in Aaron's mind, like, you know, do I stay out and see, or is Tobias going to have fresh tyres? And so yeah, it does put a bit of doubt in the second place's mind now as Tobias comes out. Good pit stop there. Looks like he's got a little bit of clear track. He's got the battle of Will Dodd and Aaron Hamilton by the look of it in front of him. Those two still going at it. They've lost the lead car off that butt, so possibly they've pitted, not sure.
Yeah, LJ just popped in just before, or just as we switched to him. So same lap as Tobias.
Yeah, so what Aaron will want to hope now is that Tobias has come out behind this battle and just holds him up enough that Aaron can pop back out of the pits a lot closer or in front.
Yeah, it's probably the worst thing for Tobias actually. This is where his tyres are at his best. You know, he's got them up to temperature now. They're, you know, this is where he wants to try and put those quick couple of lap times in. The last thing he needs is to be held up. So this could work out nicely for Jared here.
And obviously Aaron and Will have no obligation to let them pass. But
they're both in.
But yeah, there'd be no blue flags there as they'd both be on the same lap still. So the boys within their right to hold their line.
Jared's in as well. We missed that. He's exiting now. It's going to be close, but I think Tobias is going to have him. Does indeed.
Yeah. The speed that you carry through that first corner, exiting the pits, you just can't get out in time and get enough acceleration to hold any kind of a lead there.
Says as you were. And let's just check in with LJ as well, because he should be coming out around Aaron, I would think. Those guys still in the pits. Looks like Will Dodd's out. I think they might have got him actually. It's going to be close. Oh, they've managed to jump LJ there, so both drivers through.
Yeah, it looks like in the in the pit battle there, Aaron's got ahead of Will, so good pit stop there by Aaron's crew.
Yeah, 19.8 from Aaron. Will 20.3, the same as LJ. LJ with a fresh car now. Obviously the series does allow one fast repair, just for those that aren't familiar with iRacing and all the series. You can give the drivers the option to get their car repaired instantly at a pit stop, or they can be towed back to the pits and get a fresh car. Just aids in keeping the field intact, especially around these tricky circuits with what is a handful of a car as well. None of that in the official series. Once you damage it, you're done. Yeah, I think that battle's really going to hot up actually. Clayton's still out there. It's going to go through another lap as well. Might explain just that little bit of pace difference. It's lapping fairly consistently out there.
He's doing a good job as Jared also closed right in on Tobias now. Tobias must have had a little bit of a moment, but that's within half a car length now, as they're coming up to Brenton O'Brien again.
No chance to fuel save for Clayton this week? Not doable?
Nah, definitely not doable, nor is it doable for the magician himself, Tobias. Definitely not worth fuel saving. As I said, I think the maximum laps you could get out of it was 33 laps possibly, if you really pushed it. Possibly 35. This week's official race is 30 laps, and I know it can do that with a few laps still in the tank. So Tobias a bit sideways there out of that corner. Fizell's got a great run on him. Looking for the optional line through that corner, gives him a bit of a tag.
Yeah, closest he's ever been. Important to stay right on his tail through this section now.
Tobias brake check through there. Saw the lights come on. He'll want this run into the hairpin here.
Yeah.
Or two wheels on the grass.
Tobias using all the track there as well, felt the need to cover absolutely everything there. It's the one thing when you get that close, it's just so tricky to spot the apex as well. You know, you've got a whole face full of car in front of you when you're just that 0.1 or second behind. Oh, Tobias very out of shape as
really
well.
wide. That's going to give him a run down here. You can see that line into that corner there. There's a couple of lines you can take depending on how you drive. Both are about the same kind of speed. But you watch Tobias through here. Last time through here, Tobias just tapped the brake a little bit on this left-hander and put him off a bit, but looks like he's flat out now through there. It's like Shane Best, possibly.
I was about to say, I wondered if Shane was going to come into play there, but manages to stay just ahead enough there.
Sounded like Jared might have just scraped the wall there coming down the main straight. Just slightly. I'm on board, so I didn't see, but
Seen it a couple of times actually. I mean, whether that's just a server issue, but it does look as though he's just skimming it. Last few laps, Tobias been particularly wide there. This time a little bit better. He's not under so much pressure through here. Can take his normal line. Although he looks like he got a little bit wide.
Oh, great run here. It's a very hard spot to pass, so flat out through this section. That's the run you want. Through that corner, set it up.
Again, we've got back marker ahead. Not sure it's going to come. It's not going to come into play. It's all about hitting this last corner. Oh, that looks good.
There. He's got to run.
Tobias
You want deep
gonna
on the
have
brakes. Here he goes. Oh.
Tobias very fair there. Let him have the room. Could have easily have closed the door. He's going to try and come back at him. Yeah, now let's see what happened. Obviously, we know that a little bit sideways coming out of there, but Jared was the fastest in qualifying. So let's see if he's got that clear air. If he can just stick a good lap together, maybe give himself half a second's worth of gap, just while Tobias gets used to that dirty air. Ever so minute shift in the balance of the car, but just takes a little second just to get used to it.
Yeah, see already with the fresh air, he's starting to get a little bit of a gap happening. Last lap was a 15.8, so you're almost doing qualifying times, you know, second half of the race. So.
Yeah, and Clayton's still out there as well, by the way, so they're slowly closing in on him. 12 seconds up the road at the moment, so he's certainly going to have just a little splash and dash at the end.
Yeah, so to rephrase that, that would be a change for the lead once the field is filtered through. Getting a bit overexcited.
Yeah, another driver actually who stayed out for quite a long stint, Dean Prescott, up into 4th place, still yet to make his pit stop. Jamie Peters as well, so those two were battling earlier on, both on heavy fuel. Kurt Stenberg in 6th obviously was net 4th, so he's 39 seconds behind the leader at the moment, so I can't see that he's going to have enough to get up to Clayton, but that's going to be quite close. I mean, it was about 20 seconds for the leaders, but obviously Clayton needs less fuel, so I think he should have Kurt covered off. Mark Warmington in 7th. We'll be wondering why he's down in 7th. 3 cars ahead of him yet to pit. Well, yeah. only one that I think two that he'll get.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's such a strange pit road, this one too. The in and out laps of the pit stop are quite long because you've got to actually go as he runs wide there. Tobias looking up the inside. Just go back to that for a second. And Jared's held the position, but Tobias putting a lot of pressure. He ran wide through 1 and gave Tobias a look.
Yes, this race for what will turn out to be net P1, certainly not over by any means.
No, so what I was saying as they come through the section, yeah, the pit lane, you got to pretty much take the widest line you can around the hairpin coming into the pits, so you got to watch your speed. Then you get the yellow cones, then you've got a very long pit lane up until your pit box. So the in laps and out laps are quite long here. I'm not sure exactly how much time it adds to your lap, but I think it's about a minute 54 you do on a lap, on your out lap, once you've been in and out. So it's a fair time.
Just jump on board with Tobias for this lap. Just up the hill, through turn 1, turn 2. Again, tricky uphill left-hander, blind apex at the top there. This is where we jump onto the cup circuit. You saw the longer version just hairpin away there to the right. Rejoins the main part of the track. It always amazes me how smooth Tobias looks on the steering input as well. We see so many other guys out there. There's a little bit of correction moment. Just fighting the car so much more than what he does. It still looks pretty, still looks like a handful out there though. Yeah, definitely a short little track. You don't realise how short it is until you actually sit on board and just watch a lap. At 31 or 48. It's ticking by quite quickly. Alex Simpson, Luke Emerton here, round 8 of ARLTV's V8 Supercar Championship.
Yeah, Tobias still closing in there on Jared, keeping the pressure up.
Just want to quickly jump back because Will Dodd and LJ Garnett have caught up massively to Aaron Hamilton as well. This 7th, 8th and 9th battle. These guys have been...
Oh wow, big moment there, sorry mate. Huge moment coming into the hairpin behind Will Dodd there. Sideways, almost hit the pit wall.
Yeah, and we've got a few guys just exiting the pit as well. Dean, where's he come out? He's going to come out behind this barrel. Thought he might have just done it, but he's a long way back on the grid, so that rev limiter section just killing him there.
Yeah, back out in 9th by the look of it. As LJ gets right up the back of Will Dodd here.
Yeah, I thought about it for a second, but thought better.
Oh, Will now looking at the inside of Aaron. Aaron takes the alternate line, as we like to call it in the racing world, and runs wide. Will through, and looks like LJ is going to get through that move as well. Losing 2 spots there, Aaron. Unlucky there, ran a bit wide, and 2 cars being so close together, straight through.
Yeah, it looks like LJ saw that one coming, decided to opt for the wide line and make sure he got as good exit as possible. He had the chance, it did happen. And as the camera jumps away, let's get it back.
That's where LJ had his moment last lap, ran a bit wide and got the rear brakes locked up and nearly ran into the wall there. Looks like Will's carrying a bit of damage on the left side of that car as well, so not sure what happened, but he would have had that fixed in the pit stop, so he's obviously had another bit of a moment there at some stage. Looks like LJ is on a mission at the moment. He's really driving that car to its limit, trying to get these 2 spots.
Yeah, putting a lot of pressure on Will. Just showing his nose here, there and everywhere. Will's pretty savvy though. He'll know just to keep focusing on the track ahead. Tobias still very much on the tail. of Gerard. Clayton's still out there as well, so he's got to be due a pit stop any moment. Yeah, Aaron falling off of these two just a little bit after he was passed. LJ still looks like he's got the bit between his teeth. Wants this 6th place. He's having a little look. Car is squirming all over the place as well.
Yeah, it looks like Will's also got some damage on the rear of that car. Oh, Aaron Hamilton sideways. Big slide.
Yeah, gathered it up well.
LJ joining in on the action, gets a little bit sideways there out of that corner as well. These boys really pushing.
Yeah, Clayton into the pits then. Let's see where he comes out and how short his stop is.
Yep, pitting from 3rd place.
Yeah, 18-second stop, pretty quick.
Sorry, he was pitting first, back out in 3rd.
Timing screen showing him down in 4th. Has he actually been jumped by Kurt?
On my timing screen, it's showing him in 3rd, with Kurt in 4th. So might just have to wait till the lap comes around and see what happens.
Yeah, Kurt just ahead of him. Kurt going through the cup section now. So he has indeed managed to pick up a place. Clayton's pit stop's perhaps a little bit longer than he would have hoped for. Those fresh tyres though should, in theory, drag him up to Kurt for the end of the race. So I think that final podium position battle is going to be quite juicy the last few laps of this race.
Yeah, definitely the difference some fresh tyres can make around a complicated circuit like this is amazing. So we'll see how they go.
Yeah, it looks like we might.
It's not actually that far off him, so.
I was about to say, looks like we might be spoilt for some battles to the end of this race. We've still got LJ and Will. Tobias, I mean, we've left that battle just for a little bit, but Tobias is still, as the camera jumps over, we are still very much nip and tuck there as well. 0.3 of a second separating them. Any mistake from Jared, and Tobias is going to have that lead back.
All over him like a fat kid on a cupcake, that one. And they've got Jamie Peters' car in front of this little battle here of the leaders, so that might come into play.
Yeah, Dean Prescott, after all the pits have turned out, he's gained up another place, so he's up to 9th. He is actually only 4 seconds behind Aaron Hamilton, so you could well see that battle gone as well, because we know Dean went particularly long into this race as well, so I'm guessing his tyres are quite fresh too. So he looks to put a lap on, I think that's Brenton O'Brien. Yeah, I'm guessing Dean will want to catch up to his teammate. Oh, Aaron sideways! He's just about gathered it up, but I think, yeah, Dean opting to jump the track.
Oh wow, he nearly got cleaned up then by Brenton. He's got another Dermatov car just coming up behind him now.
And who have we got that's blown up as well? That's
just in front of us now.
I think that might be Will Dodd. It is as well, Will Dodd blown up.
Yeah, Will Dodd's on the radio. Oh, someone runs wide on the oil there. Dermatov car behind. Just listening to the driving chat, see if I can hear what's happening.
Yeah, let's just I tell you what, let's jump back 30 seconds, have a quick look at a replay, see if we can figure out what happened. Perhaps not far enough. Right, just looking at LJ at the moment. Yeah, so Will just coming out through this section. Oh, gets sideways. Oh, into the wall heavily. Just lost it. Good night. And I think with what was going on, caught Aaron's attention a little bit too much as well, and he made the mistake. So, yeah, Dean Prescott, thank you very much. 2 places. Who's that? Leo Bodnar. Apex Racing, new car up. A place now. He's just got to hunt down his teammate.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm just having another quick look at that replay myself, and I thought Garnett might have just maybe had a net code with him, but it looks like Will put his left wheel on the grass there just clipped the grass, and it just shot the car right. Like, he had no control over that at all.
It was unfortunate actually. If he'd have just missed the wall, was Tobias forcing Jared to go defensive into the hairpin here. But if he'd have just missed that wall, you know, a foot further to the left, it'd have been alright. It'd have been able to use the runoff area, rejoin the track, and it'd have been okay. But as soon as he made contact with that wall, the motor just went bop, and that was it.
Yeah, he hit it right on the corner of the car, so no good at all.
Just having a quick look while we're watching the leaders' lap times. Last time by Kurt Stenberg, a 1:16.2. Clayton Brooks, a 1:16 flat. So 0.2 of a second out of him that last time. Gap is down to 2.6 seconds. So at that sort of rate, he will get on him. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that little battle.
The leaders too, Jared only had a 1:16.2. Well, I say only, that's a little bit slower than what they've been running at the moment. So the leaders get slowed up a bit too as they hit some more lap traffic at the moment. Ian McPherson there, getting out of the way of the 2 leaders.
Yeah, amazingly, those two are actually 33 seconds ahead of Kurt for that battle for third. Just goes to show you the kind of class that they're in. So Tobias might have picked up a tiny little bit of damage right hand side of that Dayco sponsored car.
Yeah, well, I'm just having a look now. Will Dodd is circulating around. He mustn't have pitted yet, and has managed to use that fast tow or fast repair and had that engine fixed, and he's back out and running.
Good for Will. See him still out there. Yeah, I mean,
he's only dropped down. He's dropped down only into 11th now, and he's fighting for a top 10 with his teammate Jamie, the next on his list. So he's done really well there to just lucky enough not to have used his fast tow.
Yeah, I mean, he was quite close to the pits when it obviously popped, so he was able just to coast it back in. Guess he had a nice clean first stint of the race, no damage whatsoever. There's nothing for to repair on that pit stop, so gets to use his fast tow later on. That worked out quite nicely, salvaged his race.
Yeah, definitely. He was looking at mid top 10 then, so he'll be pushing, but I think Jamie's teammate's a fair way ahead of him at the moment.
Yeah, looking at some 30 seconds, so I think Jamie's pretty safe with just 9 laps remaining. Oh, we've got some action going off a bit further back here. I'm not sure what that is. I think that was Clayton Brooks turned himself around there. I really do not know. Let's just yeah, and he's actually towed back to the pits as well. Let's look at that back, see what happened there. Yeah, so just going through the sweeping section now, a couple of wheels up. Looks like he got a bit out of shape. Tries to hold it. Oh, catches that little bit of the wall that just juts out. The just gets a tag by the back marker as well for good measure. Oh, and that car, yeah, just wow. That is done. So
Will nearly cleaned him up after just getting that car repaired, and Will was just nearly absolutely smashed the front of Clayton's car there as well. But yeah, he just ran a little bit wide and absolutely smashed the corner of that pit entry wall almost.
Tobias having a little look on Jared, tucked up behind Aaron Hamilton now.
Yeah, Aaron jumping out of the way there. Tell you what, there's been some action in this race, even for a small field. Nice and exciting.
Yeah, I don't think we've had a moment's breath actually. It's always been something else out there. To say the main battle now is for this lead. Everybody else is spaced out. So LJ's going to get a top 5. So after his little moment early on the race, managed to fight back. 3.8 seconds and closing in quite quickly as well on Mark Warmington. So it was 1.3 seconds that last time by. So Mark could come under a bit of pressure towards the end. So Tobias gets very close under braking into the hairpin. Yeah, pretty much as you were at the start of this race for these guys now. Like Kurt just has gained the 1 position with Clayton's unfortunate running with the wall, shall we say? Yeah, Brendan O'Brien not really been able to sort of do much after that turn. Well, what was it, turn 1? Made a contact with him. It's not even turn 1, I think, so struggled a little bit out there, but 2 laps down, but he's kept his nose out of trouble. 13th place, just as the camera pops to him for a second.
Nice and close there again. Tobias, lots of pressure now.
Yes.
Into the 90 degree.
6 laps to go. He knows he needs to start to pound that pressure on now if he's going to make Jared make a little mistake. "48 laps is quite a long race. These guys will be just getting a little bit tired. Perhaps not physically, but certainly mentally. You have to hit your marks, lap in, lap out. Constantly having someone behind you, which may be why Tobias didn't defend that position too much. Just thought he'd be the aggressor. Have us a look down into the hairpin again. Both drivers extremely fair with each other. Gets the move done. Tobias back up to the lead. Gerard now is going to need to keep the pressure on Tobias here.
Yeah, great move by Tobias there. He did the big dive under the inside, but as you say, a lot of racing room given between these guys, a lot of respect. So I guess that was a return of respect from when Tobias led him up the inside of the same corner. And it looks like Clayton Brooks has got a disconnection.
Well, I'm guessing Clayton's retired after hitting the wall. You know, he went back to the pits. I don't think he came back out, to be honest, after that. He's perhaps just watching. And I'm not sure what's happened to Jared, but he's just dropped off massively as well. So did he get some sort of slowdown penalty that we must have missed? And that's what gave Tobias the run? Or is he perhaps just a bit tight on fuel?
I'll go back and have a look for you. Hang on a second.
Yeah, let's just check in with battle for 4th. Mark Warmington, 1.1 seconds ahead of LJ now, and last time by 0.8 of a second separating them. So yeah, this is gonna hot up quite nicely. There's the blimps in no man's land at the moment, trying to look at the track. Yeah, 0.8 of a second. Mark really seems to be struggling out there now. Actually disappeared for a second there. Probably not helping as well. Quality connection. Drivers keep disappearing around you. Just gets a little bit unnerving. Keeps your attention off hitting your marks.
Just go and had a look back at Jared there, and after Tobias passed him, he didn't seem to cut the track, but he's slowed right down, and he's almost, I don't know, I would say fuel saving, if I was to have a guess.
Yeah,
so
5 seconds behind now already. So yeah,
I don't know if he's under fueled it but it just doesn't seem like he's going hard out. He's really just coasting around, but he doesn't have any damage.
Yeah, is LJ going to be able to get himself up to the back of that blue flag racing car? Who knows?
Yeah, he's really coasting around, so possibly, I don't know, short fueled it, trying to stay with Tobias, but they only had a second difference in their pit stop, so it wouldn't have made too much of a difference.
3 laps to go. Like I say, the gap for him is up to 12 seconds. Last time by some 4 seconds. This time it was 7 seconds slower that lap, so he's saving crazy amounts of fuel. He's just trying to bring it home. Can't afford a splash. Kurt will get him. Had he decided to pit in when he was leading and just had a splash of fuel, he'd have been fine. But now it's about he's got to make it, or it's not going to happen.
No, that's it. He's getting out of the way now of even lap traffic, so that's how much he's saving. He's really just coasting it around.
Yeah, LJ now right onto the tail of Mark. Mark hits his lag button there just to put LJ off. Not what you want when you're within 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, took a lot of curb there on turn 1. You don't want to do that because that can really upset the car and throw you straight into that outside wall. Oh, Mark had a bit of a splutter there by the sound of it. I don't know if it was just my sound having a bit of a glitch.
Yeah, LJ looks much quicker though. Getting the run, he's going to have a look into this right-hander. Mark's going to have to hold it round the outside. It's not going to be easy side by side with the connection of these two.
Flashing. Oh no. Oh, this could end in disaster. Oh.
Yeah, I think LJ thinks better of it. Rather fight.
Oh wow, he took a bit of curve
later.
there. Yeah, Garnett dropping 2 full wheels on the grass. I don't know if the stewards are that strict around here, unlike Canada, so he should be right there.
Yeah, Jared, perhaps a little bit quicker that last time by. I think he's going to be able to hold on to this second place as long as he gets it to the finish line. Yeah, leader comes round for his last lap. Obviously these guys have got this rest of this one and another to do.
Yeah, I think it might just be the connection issue that's making it sound like he's out of fuel, I think, so with Mark's car.
Yeah, very tricky for LJ to get a move on here. He just doesn't know where he really is. He's going to have to make a move, commit to it.
Yeah, he's got a good run on him here if he can go deep on the inside under the hairpin.
Yeah, looks like he couldn't quite get on the power as early as he wanted coming out of that corner. Let's just jump on with the leader as he's coming down this back straight now to take what will be an absolutely fantastic victory. We had a great race from him. He got his strategy right with the fuel here today, and that's paid the difference. Tobias Czerny takes another victory in this ARLTV V8 SuperCar Series. Delighted with that as well. Well hard fought race. Congratulations. Gerard looks like he's going to be good for second place as well. Car's still got gas left. He's into the hairpin. Even if it runs out now, he'll be all good. Kurt Stenberg going to come across in third place, quite a way ahead of Mark Warmington. Let's just jump onto these two as LJ still putting pressure on. These two Brits going at it. It's all going to be about this final hairpin corner. LJ a bit too wide. I think that's it. Game over, son. You're not going to get it now. Definitely. Mark just pulls away through that.
Yeah, all that momentum was lost there. Although he's deep under brakes into that fast right-hander.
Yeah, trying everything. Mark just glitching there as well, just making it a little bit more interesting.
I was going to say, unless he disconnects before the line.
But yeah, holds on to fourth place. Congrats to Mark. Another consistent drive for him.
Even though his connection wasn't, he's had a good one.
LJ coming across in fifth. Dean Prescott here. I think he's already finished here. First of the drivers a lap down. He had an eventful race as well. A lot of good battles. He'll be delighted with 6. Gained a load of spaces from the start. I think he was like 13th on the grid, wasn't he? So he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, Dean started 13th and got 6th, so yeah, good race there by Dean. Jared saying that he was only a full lap short on his fuel there in the team chat.
Oh. Yeah, so just take you through the final classifieds then. Tobias Czerny takes another victory here at Sonoma Raceway. Jared Thistle does indeed take the second, holds on with that short fuel load, but nonetheless he's still some 20 odd seconds ahead of Tobias's teammate Kurt Stenberg in third, Mark Warmington in fourth place, LJ Garnett in 15th, Prescott in 6th, Ian McPherson in 7th, Aaron Hamilton finishes in 8th. Ninth place was Jamie Peters, and still with a top 10 after blowing his motor, Will Dodd. While he'd probably be gutted that he didn't have a 6, nonetheless still a very good result. Shane Best in 11th, Isaac De Figueiredo in 12th, Niels Jordan is 13th, Brenton O'Brien after his first lap incident is in 14th, Shane Brook takes 15th, Clayton Brook, what a disaster for him, just gets it out of shape there, hits that ball, race over, 16th place, fighting for the top 3 all race. Andre Heglem? Sorry about that, Andre. In 17th, and Brian Monger is in 18th place, 37 laps down. I'm not sure what happened to Brian, I must have missed that one. As well as Andre as well, so those guys retiring a little bit earlier on. Luke, who's your driver of the day?
Oh, I don't know. It's a hard one. Well, Will Dodd, after blowing an engine and getting the fast tow, did well to get back into the top 10. But I don't know. There's a few in there with a few good battles, so I'm not sure. I'm undecided. I'm sitting on the fence.
Yeah, I agree actually. I think, like you say, there was a few good battles. I mean, Will was battling with Aaron and LG all race long. Dean had a good race coming all the way from where he was on the pack, so we haven't seen him too much. He's having a bit of fun out there right now, failing miserably. But yeah, and Tobias drove a controlled race, so it's really difficult. I think any one of those guys could have it. So I'm gonna, like yourself, I'm gonna stay on the fence, I think, and just say that they all deserve it.
Yeah, well, even looking at the qualifying and then their race results, they almost finished in similar positions. So, yeah, the most positions gained was probably 2 or 3 from their starting grid, and nearly every driver in the field improved on their starting position. So, yeah, very hard to pick one.
Well, we've got a few drivers that have popped in to have an interview, so we'll just get ourselves set up for that, go for a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels including Logitech, Fanatic, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Hairpin.
Welcome back to ARLTV, and in usual typical fashion we grabbed Tobias in mid-conversation. Sorry about that. We do it every week. You should expect it by now.
Good at that.
Hello guys.
Another victory for you here today. Tricky little track is Sonoma Raceway Cup configuration. Just tell us about the race from your point of view. You know, what did you have to pay particular attention to today?
Yeah, it's a quite tricky track as you mentioned, but I like these track since Gran Turismo 4, I think, and it's very important here to get all the apexes right. There are a lot of blind corners. You gotta hit the curbs right because they can be your best friend or enemy, and yeah, it's basically the only passing possibility is going to the hairpin. Might also get a good run of the first right-hander of the cup layout to make it into the second right-hander where the cup layout gets back to the original layout. But yeah, it's so difficult to follow a car ahead when you don't see the track and the apexes through the fast S's, and I'm really happy that it somehow turned out that I bet Jared here, who was incredibly quick here.
Yeah, I mean, you got an absolute flying start, and I think Luke wants to hire you for some lessons at the end of this this interview. But yeah, I mean, that made all the difference today. Really, you got yourself out front. You were able to control the race, the pace, and you did your pit stop when you wanted to do so, and it all seemed to come together. Although you did come under a little bit of pressure halfway through the race, and I have to say, both me and Luke pointed out that the respect that each of you guys gave each other when you went for the moves into the hairpin.
Yeah, though it was incredible battle. I think it was basically from the start till Jared had to back off due to the fuel. We were not much separated by more than a second, basically always less than a second, and he was pushing me a bit in the first stint. Then when he got past, I thought, okay, I saw his quality time. He was so quick. I thought that's it, but I tried to stick with him, and yeah, it paid off in the end. And but as I said, it's incredible difficult here to apply the pressure throughout these blind corners, because with a big V8 in front, you don't see anything. Yeah, you have to guess where exactly the curbs is, where you have to go, how far you can go, and it still hit all the corners. Yeah, that's awesome. And regarding the start, I have to say I don't know if my start was that good. I know that Jared's start was one of the worst you could ever do, I guess.
Well, I mean, I'm just looking at the Drivers' Championship now. I mean, really all you need to do is just have a solid last few rounds to this season, and I think you're going to pick up another title. I mean, what's your mindset going into the last few races of the season?
I'm actually not sure if I not already got the title now, because I got 5 wins, and the rest is second places.
Well, there you go.
It can be, I don't know. Okay, I guess
well.
one more second or whatever, and I'm pretty much done. I never expected after the first 2 rounds when Lee Day was there and stealing me the wins. Now you have to
those guys seem to have backed off a bit. So
yeah, it's a good, good season for the Powerbond Dayco team as well. First and second in the championship, your teammate Kurt up there as well. So you guys must be delighted with how the teams performed this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also super happy for Stenny that he finished 3rd here. Another good podium result for him, and I think also, Mark had a fantastic race. Yeah, a bit of pressure from behind, but another 4th place. They're really getting quicker, I guess.
Phillip Island up next then, obviously a favourite in this car. For most, I always remember it as a track that you're not particularly 100% with. So, but you always seem to perform well there, nonetheless. So, yeah, what you're expecting from that week?
Yeah, so if I'm not going, I'm not the one who will start from pole. I will try to work on my consistency, not making any big mistakes, and hopefully this pays out in the end. I guess so. Not looking forward to it, but yeah, I have to drive, I guess.
Well, congratulations again today, mate, on another victory. And if you have just clinched the title, well, congratulations on that. We'll get some confirmation of that for the next broadcast. But yeah, so mathematically, I think like you say, you should be right now with drop rounds that come into play and whatnot. So congrats, amazing season, crazy consistency, first and second whole way through. So Tobias Czerny, our race winner today.
Thank you guys, thank you for broadcasting. I guess it was an awesome battle to watch, and can't wait to see.
Yeah, it was good, mate. And I pay in iRacing credits, alright? So I'll talk to you later on.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, up next. Who should we grab up next? I was thinking of grabbing the duo of LJ and Dean, get them done quickly.
Yeah, we'll grab those boys up, have a chat. Mr. Prescott.
Let's grab them both. Apex Racing UK drivers with us, LJ Garnett and Dean Prescott. Good morning, fellas. It's still morning for you. Tell us how that race was. Dean, first up. I mean, perhaps a little disappointed with you qualifying, but what a great race. Picked yourself up into 6th position.
Qualifying? That was practice. I had literally turned, about 10 laps earlier in the week with LJ, and just thought, I sent you that quick message before I joined. And I thought, you know what, I'll go and race. So I just stuck race fueling, just went away for it.
Yeah, I mean, you had some interesting battles out there, actually. I was just, at the start, just watching one now. I think that was with Shane for a little while. And then, of course, you were closing in on the battle between LJ, Will, and Aaron when all hell seemed to break loose. And you picked up a couple of places there. I mean, what did that look like from your camera angle with cars going everywhere?
Well, yeah, I didn't really have a pit strategy, so I just went as long as I could to get the fresh tyres, and it actually really helped because I come out right behind Ian, and obviously he was on the warmer tyre, so I just skipped past. But yeah, started closing those guys in, and then I just thought, hang on, I can see some smoke up ahead. Got closer around the corner and thought, he's stuck in the middle of the track, I can't go right, I'm going left.
Yeah, I saw you that. Just dive straight across to the gravel. Why not? Keeps you safe. So, did you get a slowdown penalty or anything like that for that?
No, I didn't. I only got the off track, which is quite surprising. So,
I'll take that then.
Later on, saw the black smoke of Will. Thought he's well going to join back on the track. So, tiptoed around and just snuck past him.
And LJ, you had an interesting race. I mean, you looked like you were sort of keeping with the top guys to start off with, but did you pick up a bit of damage early on?
Yeah, that was my mistake. Forgot how wide the car was and just turned in a bit early and hit the pit wall. Didn't think it would be so bad because it wasn't a massive hit, but I think I hit the wheel, so when I was turning right it was like the wheel 180 degrees all the way around to try and get the car to turn at least, but it was disappointing. I think that was partly because I just had a slowdown I think a couple of laps before, and it lasted for half a lap, so just trying to catch back up, and yeah, a bit too aggressive I think, but yeah, then I was just basically waiting till the lap I could go in to fix the damage, but obviously trying to keep an eye on the fuel as well to make sure I'd make it to the end, and then yeah, as soon as I saw all the other people diving in, I jumped in as well. So
yeah, I'd say you recovered quite well, 5th place. You're having a good battle with Mark at the end there. Just couldn't quite make the move. I mean, what's it like to try and overtake around this track? I mean, it does look particularly tricky. That one overtaking spot that was mentioned by Tobias into that hairpin seems to be the only real place. But I think you did manage to get a move done coming back onto the circuit from the Cup configuration as well.
Yeah, that is another point, but I mean, normally if you dive to the inside, the guy can hold the outside line, and you normally end up on the outside for the SSM, which isn't a pleasant place to be. But I mean, the track is quite difficult to overtake. It's quite easy to defend into the hairpin as well. So I think that's what I was doing on Will and Aaron just before when I had the damage. But then again, also because it's on an Australian server for like the ones UK and Europeans, it's quite a lot of netcode and cars moving from side to side, so you're not 100% sure where the car really is. But yeah, you just go in and hope that the car's not where you're aiming. So
Yeah, we saw that actually. You were struggling a little bit behind Mark with him blinking and whatnot, and a couple of times where you looked like you might have been close enough to have a run.
yeah, I mean, there was a fair amount of blinking, but what can you do really? You can't do anything during the race. You just have to deal with it, I guess. I mean, Mark's fighting for his position. He has every right to do so. So yeah, really, I shouldn't have just made that mistake earlier on. I might have been ahead. So.
Well, congratulations to the Leo Bodnar Apex Racing UK guys, 5th and 6th place today. Some good points for the championship. I know it's not really something you guys are looking at, so having joined halfway through and just having a bit of fun out there. So yeah, nice race, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. Right, let's bring up Mr. Fuel Cell himself, Jared. Tell us a little bit about that race, mate. It was looking good for a while. We thought you had Tobias beat, just holding him off, and then it looks like the Fuel bested you in the end.
Yeah, it was pretty tough because I was pushing really hard in the first stint before the stop there to try and keep up with him, but I was just too loose, using too much fuel, which cost me in the end, and I thought it'd be close, but I didn't think I'd be a full lap short.
Yeah, so I guess I mean the lap times obviously shot up once you let him go. I mean, when did you realise that you were going to be short?
I think it was about 5 laps to go. I had about 4.3 laps remaining on my eye speed, so I just let him go. But he finished the race. I wouldn't bother going in the pits because Kurt might have got me.
Yeah, both me and Luke were saying that I think you had the choice to either pit and have a little splash and dash right there and then, or try and save it out. So, and we were keeping an eye because we didn't know if you were gonna quite do it. I mean, it must have been close as you crossed the line there.
Yeah, I had about half a litre left.
But I mean, nonetheless, you must have been pretty happy today. I mean, pole position, race pace looked good. Obviously, you haven't been around for all the races this season, so you know what you hoping for next week?
At Phillip Island last season, I actually had a really bad race, got taken out. So hopefully, I can do better this race. I think I'm going to miss Road of America again. I dominated there last season, so I'm pretty gutted about that. So yeah, just haven't been able to show up for all the races this season, which is a shame.
Yeah, obviously you had quite a few battles with Tobias last season as well, so it's good to see you renewing that rivalry. And yeah, I mean obviously going to miss Road America, but we've got Okayama and Oran Park as well. Some different tracks there. I mean, we've had some fantastic races at Okayama as well over the years in this series. So yeah, I hope you'll be back for those after Road America. It's Road America, and we'll have some more spectacular races.
Yeah, exactly. I think I actually won my first race last season at Oran Park in this series, which was good.
Yeah, tricky little track, that one. Always brings up a surprise, I think. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that one as well. Well, anyone you want to just give a quick shout out to, Jared, while you're in the comms box?
Quick shout out to my team boss, Clayton. Unlucky for the race tonight. He was looking in good position when he pitted, but I'm not sure what happened yet. I have yet to go and have a look at it.
Yeah, he hit the wall hard. That's all I'll say. So, right, well,
That's unlucky.
Thanks, Jared. Unlucky today, mate. I mean, it looked like we were going to have an absolute corker on our hands right up to the end there. Just that slight miscalculation, and cost us what was going to be an epic race. But yeah, look forward to seeing how you get on at Phillip Island, and then enjoy the break for Road America. And I'll catch you at Okayama.
Cheers, guys. Hopefully we can do a repeat of tonight, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a stop or not, so it might be just a flat-out sprint, which will be nice.
Cool. Thanks, mate. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, well done, mate.
See ya.
Right, I'm going to just try and quickly whip through the rest of the field that are out there. Fancy having an interview. Kurt Stenberg in here. Podium position for you again today, Kurt. Second place in the championship. You must be delighted with how this season's going.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how everything's going. Had some good results, had lots of pace. It's been pretty good.
We were talking to Tobias earlier on, saying how well, you know, the Powerbond Deco team is going. You know, sitting 1 and 2 in the championship. You must be winning the constructors as well, with you being in those positions. I mean, what do you do? What do you do from here? I mean, how do you move forward as a team?
I'm not sure. Just keep working at it, keep practicing, and yeah, hope that we can maintain the positions for the rest of the series.
I mean, it's not.
Team champ.
I was about to say, it's not just you guys, and you've got some other teammates as well. I mean, how are the Powerbomb guys doing in the official series as well?
We've been doing well on Monday night, trying to get top 10s, and we've had 3 cars in the top 10 at Bathurst, and yeah, had some good results. Tobias got a podium, so yeah, it's all been doing very well for a team point of view in the official.
And just tell us a little bit about your race today. I mean, couldn't quite keep up with Jared and Tobias, but had a good little battle with Clayton throughout the race. Different strategies out there as well.
Yeah, I kind of hit the wall early on the main straight, looking down at something, because there's nowhere really to rest here or to look at anything, because there's no real straights. But yeah, I hit it early, and I thought, well, if I go hard, I'll get the undercut on him and try and come out in front of him. And the longer he stayed out, the more and more I thought that was a possibility. So I kept going and yeah, come out in front of him, and he was chasing me down. But I just saw on the replay he hit a wall and had a bit of an off. So it's bad luck. It would have been quite a good battle there towards the end, I'm thinking.
Yeah, he was closing in. I think we were keeping an eye on it. I think it would have been the last few laps he might have got up to you, so we could have had something a bit epic at the end there. So, but spoiled nonetheless. I mean, third place again. Like I say, you've found yourself quite consistently on the podium this season. Next week we're at Phillip Island. Always a very, very competitive track. We were just chatting there with Jared, saying that it could well be a sprint race as well, without a stop or anything like that. So how does that grab you for next week?
I'll be perfectly honest, Phillip Island's my most hated track in the service. I don't like it, even though it's an Australian track. Never liked it.
Shame on you.
Fast there. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to next week, and it being a sprint race, it's not going to make it even any easier for me. So. But I'll be there.
It just goes to show that that Powerbond team is going to have their work cut out for them as well. Tobias in a very similar position, not a fan of the track. So yeah, good luck for both of you on that one. But yeah, I mean, anybody? I didn't ask Tobias actually. So anyone you want to give a quick shout out to while you're in the comms box?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Tobias. Thank you for your setups and your work, and yeah, thanks to Deco, Powerbond, and yeah.
Well, thanks, Kirk. Congratulations on podium today. We'll catch you next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Catch you.
Cheers, mate. Right, I am quickly going to bring up Mark Warmington and then call it a day. I'm sorry for everybody else who's waiting in the channel there for an interview. But we are now joined with Mark Warmington. Good morning, fella. How you doing?
I'm wiped out. How are you guys?
Yeah, I'm not surprised actually. You're coming under quite a lot of pressure towards the end of that race. Yeah, just tell us a little bit about it today.
Yeah, no, I think I peaked way too earlier in the week where I got a little bit of a rhythm going on here, but the track's so challenging and so technically difficult that I've been struggling all week to get comfortable with it again. So to qualify top, well, 6th I think it was, I thought was a bit of a relief. I think I almost got LJ off the start and that kind of scared me, so I thought back out a little bit. And then the race was just concentration. Whenever I tried to look at F3 to see who was around me or just to look at the fuel, I would almost go off the track. You just couldn't take your eyes off the road. And then towards the end, I saw that LJ was just about half a second, 0.8 of a second a lap out of me. And I knew he would catch me before the end of the race, but decided not to try and up the pace because I'd fly off. And I don't know. I know that he's a sensible racer, and I thought I could possibly hold him off. Plus, being a bit cheeky, I thought my connection was a bit dodgy today, so I didn't think he'd want to get too close either.
Yeah, we were commenting on that as well. I mean, what kind of challenges does that have for you as well? Because of course you have drivers disappear around you, as well as like your relative will blink and whatnot as well. I mean, that can't exactly be easy. There's little distractions going off all the time in your peripherals.
Yeah, it's that exact. It's like having a light blinking in the corner of your eye when you're trying to concentrate on something, and then you go through that mental process of, is it my connection or is it their connection, and then you realise actually it's mine, but I think it might be Aaron's as well. And then it's always difficult being an international racer on an Oz server anyway, so you just hope that you can get some space between you and the other cars around you. So I'm normally a bit frustrated to have that lonely, empty track race. I was looking forward to it this race.
Yeah, and you didn't quite have it. Someone around you pretty much all race, I think. Well, I say that you sort of had a little bit of a lone spell towards the first half, and then it all sort of tightened up towards the end.
Yeah, because somehow I don't know how they must have been still warming up their tyres and getting pressured up or something. But I was hanging on to the back of Kurt by about a second and a half the first 3, 4, 5 laps, and then I just lost concentration, and I lost half a second a lap at the least, and then he just took off. And I thought, you know what, as soon as I get into the pit window, as soon as I get in, I'm just pitting. It would at least give me some separation on track from the other cars and let me just get my head down and concentrate. But then obviously when they did their stops, it was always going to shake out in the mix, and I still got a bit of a gap, and I was hoping that Will Dodd would keep LJ busy, but he didn't. I don't know what happened, but LJ just started gunning for me.
Yeah, Will hit the wall pretty hard, blew an engine, and then got a fast toe, so
that would explain that one.
Yeah.
Just looking at the championship, Mark, we talk about you each week being very consistent, and that you're slowly working your way up through the championship. I mean, you're in 3rd place now. It's looking very good for a top 3 in the championship, I have to say. Just more consistent results like today. You must be delighted with that.
It's a bit surreal. You know how they always talk about the false 9 in football? I keep thinking it's a false 3rd. It's not real. I keep waiting for Jared to finally pass me, waiting for Lee to come back. I know Trevor's not going to be back this season, but I just keep thinking someone somewhere in the table just hasn't banked all of their races yet, and I'll actually end the season in 6th or 7th. But I'm a bit relieved and really satisfied to somehow keep coming home 5th over the last 3, 4, 5 races. I don't know what's going on there either.
Yeah, well, I mean, that just sort of goes to show that it's not always a sprint, is it? You got 2 things to keep an eye on. You got to keep scoring consistently, and then there's a championship as well that if you keep banging in those top 5s, you're going to do really well on. I mean, I've said it before. We've had people win this championship barely winning a race, so just having those 2nd and 3rds and whatnot each week. So, and it just goes to show again with yourself, you know, those consistent race results, a lot of top fives, and you can be up there. So yeah, well, I just wanted to say, you know, well done on that, and hope that you hold on to that for the rest of the season.
See, I got a bit of a confession. I can't remember whether it was Dean or I can't remember who was in the booth with you last season at Oran Park, and I just remember watching back the broadcast. He kept going, you know, if he could just find half a second a lap, he could be up there, because he's quite consistent. So I spent pretty much all of the off season trying to find half a second a lap, and I think that's probably what's paid off this season.
Yeah, definitely has. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before I let you go for your weekend?
Yep, definitely got to be Kimmy's Rules Fences again. Thanks to them, we've got a nice new livery, a little bit of sponsorship. Also to my teammates, I expected a few of them to wake up and join me this morning, but they're obviously either enjoying the sunshine. So Arnold, Rainis, Timon, wherever you are, Weihan, get up. And then just the rest of the Blue Flag guys, and yep, everyone else, great race today, and cheers for the broadcast again.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for jumping in and having an interview, and yeah, we'll see you, well, sorry, I won't see you, Luke will see you next week at Phillip Island.
Yep, cheers, and congrats on your World Championship race as well. That was a pretty stoking finish.
Yeah, cheers mate, thanks for that.
Yeah, well done, Mark.
Yep, cheers. I'll let you guys get your mic back. Thanks.
Right, well, thank you for everybody tuning in today. The SuperCar Series, ARLTV. Let's just give one last quick shout out to the sponsors: GTOmegaRacing.com, LeoBodner.com, and SimGarage.com. Everyone's .com. And don't forget to follow us on the usual social media at Apex Racing TV, ARLTV, and also subscribe to us on YouTube. We do obviously not only the broadcasts as well as some mod reviews and highlights as well. So, but yeah, thanks for everybody tuning in. Luke, thank you for joining me in the booth, or I guess I'm joining you in the booth now, as it would be. Seem to be the main man. Congrats on the sort of the broadcast last week. That's a hell of a job. I think you did it on your own as well, didn't you? By the looks of it, everywhere I looked, you were the only person there. So
yeah, I was all on my lonesome with a nice big empty comms box. But I thought everyone was going to fall asleep halfway through the broadcast. But it sounds like a lot of people sat around and actually watched it. Even the drivers after the race, and said it was a decent job. So. Yeah, hopefully I think Mark will be back next week. He's out on a date night tonight, apparently. So big shout out to Mark, the boss. So we told him all to be careful and not drink too many.
Yeah, I mean it's no easy task to do a broadcast on your own. So I appreciate you dropping in and help. And I'm sure, like I say, the drivers all been positive feedback as well. So you know, just give you a bit of a shout out and thank you for that. So. But yeah,
no
so
worries.
Next week then, yourself and Mark for Phillip Island sprint race. Sounds like it's a bit of a mixed bag out there. Some guys looking forward to it, some not. But I expect it to be a corker nonetheless. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This has been round 8 from Sonoma Raceway for your ARL V8 SuperCar Championship Series. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.